Good morning. Happy Friday. My name is Shay. It is time for the stream. Working on Warren's map again today and hoping to get to a point where we are adding watercolor to the water. That is the goal for the day. It is a quiet kind of morning over here, but I've got my coffee and that will make everything quite all right. So I just want to finish doing the coastline detailing that I've started on here. And hopefully once that's done, we can get into masking everything out and getting the watercolor on. Good morning. There's my Laura and my Stephanie. How are you two? Should put my phone on silent. There we go. Good morning, Michael. Happy Hallows Eve, Octos. Yes. No necromancy before noon. I feel like that's a solid life choice. Just saying. It occurs to me that I don't know how necessary this coastline hatching is because this is going to be painted over. It's noon somewhere. How did Steph get the necromancer card? Inquiring minds want to know. It's because she works on bodies all day. That's what it is. Bring out your dead. I will be the monks. Domes minem requiem. Thwack. Thriller and Nightmare Before Christmas. Nice. The Mongols are the exception. It's true. Can't do what they want. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's true. Ride or die. I don't know that song, but it sounds Halloween appropriate. You guys can see the number of viewers too? I didn't know that. That's kind of awesome. Hello, lurkers. Feel free to pop into the chat and say hi if you want to. You are totally welcome. All right, now to bust out the masking stuff because that is the task of the day. Naglis, hi. Thank you. How are you doing lately? Going back into quarantine again, hey? Are things kind of booming over there then? Things are okay over here. The nearest city to me has got quite a few cases. It's pretty bad, but our little regional area is doing just fine. So just keeping our heads down, taking all the precautions. Oof, that's a lot. I find the hand-drawn maps are better for my brain, so I can understand going back. Oh, let's see if I can get into my masking fluid today. Come on, bottle. Nope. Oh man, don't make me go get Dave. Come on. Success? Yes. Awesome. Oh, latex, you are everywhere. Cultists and zombies. I get that. The popular politics necklace and the people that are paying attention to it uncritically with the American electoral cycle. Ooh, this needs There we go. Rathaven, how are you? You might have missed a stream. I streamed yesterday. Um, I did redraw this map to put it onto watercolor paper because the original one that I did work on was on Bristol vellum, which doesn't take watercolor well at all. So I just was drafting it out on the Bristol vellum, and now this was the final version because we'll be painting it. It's nice to see you. How have you been? Good as you can be. Awesome. Glad to hear that. It's out of my comfort zone too, honestly, but I figured I wanted to learn, so I just kind of jumped in. I can't say that I really know what I'm doing, but I am flailing in a rather spectacular way. Mostly just crossing my fingers and hoping things turn out right. Apollo, oh my goodness. Haven't seen you in quite some time. How have you been? Rathaven, it's a liquid frisket, which is a liquid latex product. And yeah, it basically blocks out any liquid that you pour over it. So, what I'm doing right now is using it as a mask to mask out all of the land masses that I don't want to turn blue when I apply the giant water wash that will become all of the water. I like to do really broad washes for my oceans and let the buckling of the paper and the natural pigmentation of the paint create the currents and eddies and shallows. So, in order to do that, I need a way to preserve the white paper underneath so that I can still, color it in to look like land later. It's a little tedious to work with, but it does a really good job. And it just picks up with a piece of, you can rub it off with your fingers, but I find that I end up smudging if I use my fingers because the oil's on my hands. Um, but I've got just a piece of rubber that I use that'll just pick it up and pull it right off. Super handy stuff. You can do some really cool things with it. I have it in bottles with a fine needle on it. And so being able to draw lines with it is really exciting. Um, Although my nibs in that is blocked currently, I need to find a length of wire and get that cleaned out. That's the biggest problem with it is because it is a latex product, it'll seize up right into a solid, and that can be very inconvenient when you're using it with a brush, for example. The brush that I'm using only gets used for this because it absolutely destroys brushes. It will just eat them because you're essentially locking this plastic into the bristles. So as I work, you'll notice that the brush head that I'm using gets thicker and thicker and bigger and broader because it's just layering up more and more of the latex on it, which just means like every now and then I got to stop and clean off the brush head or whatever if I want that finer detail again. But for the most part, I just get used to using the edges and corners of what's been building up. Well, I'm really excited that you've still been enjoying the streams, Paulo. Thank you. That is just such a wonderful compliment. Yeah, you're very welcome, Raven, Breathhaven. It's fun stuff. Like if you ever get a chance to play with it, I totally recommend it. It's just a really unique part of the process for me now. Well, I'm super glad you felt strong enough today, Paulo. It's really nice to see you. I like the washi tape a lot. Super useful. And just fun. There's so many colors and patterns. I hadn't realized that they do kind of match, don't they? Unintentional, I promise. I'm using a paper that's new to me. It's not my usual, and it's definitely buckling a bit more than I'm used to with the application of the frisket. So that will be interesting for adding the wash layer. The paper it's a watercolor paper. It's 300 GSM cold press finish. I don't have the pad turned towards me right now to actually know what brand it is. And I'm not gonna pop up to check just because this stuff is best kept at it while it's still fluid. But I'll try to remember to post it in the comments once I have a chance to turn around. No, don't. There we go. Professional curiosity, you mean? Um, I have upgraded my paint since you were here last. I'm now working with Daniel Smith professional grade watercolors. And my new favorite color for doing water is a combination, actually. There is the Mayan Blue Genuine and Sodalite Genuine. And the Sodalite one is really interesting because it's got ground up particulate of the Sodalite semi precious gemstone in it, which gives it its color, but also it granulates in the most gorgeous way, leaving the most beautiful patterns on the paper. We have an example actually right here. So all of that granulation is just from the interplay of the paint and the water, and it's gorgeous. Not as light fast, yeah, that's entirely possible. I haven't really run into any long-term storage, so I haven't been thinking about light fastness as much. But I'm in love with the color so much. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. It's just there's a whole line of them that have the semi-precious gemstones in them, and a couple of them granulate like that, and it's just, oh, so, so good. I found out about it from an artist that I follow on Instagram. She does really, like, fun, cute things like cactuses and crystals and stuff, and she was doing a series of cactuses at night and was using the Sodalite Genuine as her wash for the background, uh, for the night sky, and it was just, oof, what is this? I need to know. And that got me started very quickly. It's like, all right, need all the things now. But I got to tell you, Daniel Smith watercolors are an expensive addiction. They're not as bad as my Copics. Well, some of them aren't as bad as my Copics. But it's easy to drop money on paint. Super duper easy. I've been trying to build kind of my ideal 15 color palette, or 14 color palette, I guess, so that I can travel with it in a traveling box. Because I bought a beautiful student palette years ago. It's in this great little tin box. It's got a loop on the back for being able to hook it on your thumb so you can paint outside. Pardon me. And when I travel with it, to be able to like have the ease of painting outside and en route and stuff like that. My last trip was at Christmas. I got to go to Scotland to see my husband, who was on deployment. And taking that little travel paint case with me was just such a great boon to my trip. Like, I painted in the car while we were driving through the Scottish Highlands, painted standing in the rain at a waterfall. Like, it was just so many good memories about being able to create art in place. And that was just such a treat. I don't get to travel as much as I would like to. Like, it's definitely a very privileged thing to be able to do. But it's super, super exciting to be able to build very tactile memories like that. Like, everywhere that I've ever gone and drawn, I have much more vivid memories of being, compared to taking photographs. So I was super grateful for those opportunities. Just so fun. You're doing some studies on May and Blue? Nice. What kind of studies are you doing? What's your subject matter? I'm assuming you mean painting studies. Maybe I am incorrect about that. If so, please correct me so that I am on the same page. Chemical studies. Ah, see? This is why I require correction. Because I don't know what I'm talking about all the time. That sounds really fascinating. So are you a chemist then, Paulo, or are you doing this for fun? Nice. You teach chemistry at a university. Okay, cool. That contextualizes things for me. Thank you. Some of the castles are just so gorgeous, Rathaven, like beautiful. I didn't get a chance to go in any this trip. We walked up to the castle at Edinburgh, and just checked out the outside. It was swarming with people, and my crowd aversion was not having it that day. And then there was another castle that we walked up to the outside of on the Isle of Loch Ness, that we just missed being able to go inside by like 5 minutes. I was so disappointed. But hopefully we have the opportunity to go back once COVID calms down. And so I'm hoping that we will be able to do more when we go next time. We were there over Christmas, which is like a lot of tourism So hopefully we'll go in the off season and that will make things a little bit easier for my crowd aversion. Ah, no, 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 don't do that. Crud. How bad is it? Not too bad. Okay, good. I'll just rub that off once it sets up. Good, 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 good. Pigment chemistry. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I would assume that they have a different architectural language, Neglis. That makes sense to me, given how just variable art styles in general are between nations and timelines. Yeah, seeing the outside of them just really makes me marvel at like the capabilities of engineering. Like I'm one of those people that in the event of a zombie apocalypse, I am not very useful when it comes to practical skills. I'm really good at drawing and organizing and keeping people's morale up, but I'm not great at like, growing food or building anything. So I definitely have a major appreciation for the skills that people bring into construction and composition in like very tangible ways. Yeah, I know how to cut wood. Mostly like cutting it for fires as opposed to like cutting it for timber. But I'm sure if somebody showed me what I was doing, I could figure it out. I am very good at taking instruction. That's something that I'll credit myself with. I'm very good at like learning. If I'm shown how to do something, I'm usually pretty adept at figuring it out past that point. So hopefully people who know better than me would teach me and then I could make myself useful. The one in France is amazing, hey? I just recently discovered there's a Facebook page for that. I've only been watching the documentaries on YouTube, and it's really nice to see updates from it in my newsfeed every now and then and just be like, "Yay, this is happening." Makes my anthropological heart very, very happy. Patrick, good morning, good morning. How are you? We are discussing castles. Like the lime covering? I think it's lime, isn't it? I don't know for sure either. Kind of seals everything in. Plaster. Yeah, yeah. I follow you. I follow you, Nicholas. . Oh, absolutely. The construction is astonishing, and the level of technological advancement we've had in regards to architecture is really incredible. You can swear, that's fine. I always find it so amazing that you have such strong passions about the architecture of a place, Nicholas. I mean, I don't care for our 1970s brutalism box buildings here. I wish we had something more elegant, but that is not a real common proposition here. It's what happens when you have a young country, I guess. That's really cool. Our history exams definitely do not require architectural knowledge. So it's really neat to see that that is something that is valued in other places. Um, Modern Art Deco is like modern is its own thing. Art Deco is its own thing. Art Nouveau is its own thing, or at least that's my understanding of what I know. Yeah, the internet is pretty grand for being able to catch up on that stuff, hey? Rathaven, where are you located? Are you in North America? I don't hold that against you. That's totally fine. I'm in what is somewhat affectionately referred to as the Texas of Canada. So, hi, cousin. How you doing? Yeah, I can't say I envy your situation down there. It's been hard to watch from up here, hoping everybody comes out of it okay, but it just doesn't seem like that's happening. Hi, Saxon. I think this is the stream that has the highest number of people from different continents on it. Because if I remember correctly, Paulo, you're in Brazil? Oh boy, it's been a long time since I remember having that information, so please correct me if I'm wrong. And then Neglis is in East Europe, and then I've got a couple of you in the States, in different areas of the States. And Laura and Stephanie and I are all in Alberta. Portugal. I'm sorry, love. For some reason, I thought you were. Why did I think you were in Brazil? My bad. You're back, Pat? Okay. Delaware, yep. Rathaven's in Texas. Michael is in Wyoming. Isn't the internet wild? We're all together doing the thing, and we're all in different corners of everywhere, and that's just so cool. Super duper cool. It does make the world small. You're absolutely right. Clean off this brush. It's getting too unwieldy. I'm a terrible Canadian because I hardly know any American geography. I've learned where my important people live, and that's about it. On the other side of my wall, yes, my important person lives in the next house. How's it going over there? What are you doing? Are you painting? Werewolf abs. Nice. All right. Enjoy, Agnes. I hope you find some good food. Thanks for coming to hang out. I appreciate it. Oh, that could have been bad. Yeah. Don't let go of the bottle, self. Just don't do it. Sorry. Didn't mean to startle anyone. Let's just not let that go. How about, right? Good idea? Great idea? We'll just carry on then. If this bottle had been any more full, that would have been a nightmare. Thank goodness I am running out. Right? If it had been paint or ink, my pot of black carbon ink, that would have been a nightmare. It's what I get for having terrible, like, organizational skills. Constantly working over my piece instead of to the side of my piece and stuff. Or coffee. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's put the lid on this before we have another misadventure. How about that? Yeah, breaking the lid is annoying. Definitely annoying. I have a mechanical pencil that I really like. It's this one. That every time you click it, it rotates the lead a quarter of a turn. So your pencil always stays sharp. You don't end up with the flat side of the lead. I was like, didn't know this was an innovation I wanted until I found out it existed. All right, let's pull all of this frisket out of this brush. Or as much of it as I can get anyway. Gary, hi. All right, little bits of latex all in a row. Get those in the garbage can. Oh, back stretch. Quick coffee break while we wait for this to set up a bit more. That was a big sigh, Sax. That was a big sigh, my boy. Yes, the boy. I love him. He is such a good pupper. So many eraser shavings on my desk. Let's get those out of the road. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break and refill my water, and I'll be right back. Hi, Sax. Where are you going, baby? right, take care, Paulo. Sorry to miss you leaving. Have a good one. Yeah, it is the masking stuff, Gary. This will all make sense, hopefully, in the end. Hopefully. All right, cables all up and out of the way. Oh my goodness, there's so many little Saxon hairs that have gotten stuck in the frisket. Super annoying. Yeah, part of Saxon every map indeed. That is its own thing for sure. Hawked the door handle off the outside door. Oh no, that's a problem. You hate inventory. That is fair. I think inventory is just one of those things that is generally reviled. All right, now to let this dry. Thank you. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So this feature in the middle that I kind of worked in at the very end is going to be a maelstrom. It's a giant hole that is in the middle of the ocean and is sucking everything into it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to illustrate that. And because I'm not feeling very confident about it, I just keep edging towards it gently, hoping that it doesn't bite me. Coffee. Yum, yum, yum. I didn't ask Warren what color he wanted the rose to be. Yellow would be a good color for it, though, with all the blue on the map. This is very much a fantasy map. My instructions were to make it improbable and just unusual and fun. So that is the goal. I totally got blue over here. That was unintentional. So we'll have some ice in the middle of the map and maybe some islands that are different colors and just kind of play around with it. Well, this is probably going to take like another 20 minutes to solidly dry. Do you guys want to keep hanging out? We're already hit our hour and a half mark. I could work on something else, or we could call it for today. Where are people at? I kind of feel like I'm done. How am I on world building for the weekend? I hadn't thought about streaming this weekend. I know that I am set to play some Warhammer with Dave, and that I have game with Charles and Lisa, Mike and Joy on Sunday. I guess I could think about doing a world building stream. I really hadn't considered it. So let me put some thought into that, and I will post if I decide I'm going to do that. Although I realize I completely forgot to post yesterday and today that I was coming online. Been a total slacker. So thank you so much for coming and finding me, regardless of my terrible administration. So yeah, I think that I'll probably pop on Facebook and do a Facebook Live of peeling up the frisket, because there are a couple people in my crew that really like the process of watching that get unveiled. But yeah, no, I don't need to do any for my games. My games that I've been running are on hiatus right now. People just aren't up for playing, so things have been super quiet in my neck of the woods. I do have some world building to do for a possible future game, but I don't know how much of that I'm going to do on the stream, just to keep it private. And then Dave has asked me to start running 2E for him again, so I've got to think about that and figure out what I'm going to do in that regard. So yeah. All right, I am going to go, I think. I think this is my plan. I think I need a third cup of coffee and just a chance to get up and stretch for a bit. So thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. It just makes my life so much better when you're all here. And yeah, thank you. I will, like I said, I'll post if I decide I'm coming back on for the weekend. Rathaven, thank you for coming. And you're totally welcome for the info. And we will reconvene for sure next week at some point. All right, where's my mouse? I have a mouse somewhere. There we go. All right, friends. Have a great Halloween. Yeah, Laura, that's a totally good point. Happy Halloween, friends. Take care of yourselves, okay? Bye.